Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your July 2016 general readings. I am using the Gilded Tarot deck, drawing 8 cards for the month, 2 cards for each week with an additional card as your overall theme, general feeling for the month, your crowning card. These are general readings, so they're not going to apply or resonate the same with everyone who watches. I mean, how could they? There's so many of you watching, and you all have a lot of different things going on in your lives and have your own backgrounds and stories. So make sure that you also check your rising and your moon sign as well. You may find that sometimes your rising and your moon sign can be a little more applicable in your life personally, particularly in different areas of your life. I often, not always, but often find that my primary sun sign seems to apply more towards my job, career, more public side of my life. And my rising sign, I tend to find more predictive in matters of my personal relationships, and my moon sign in terms of deeper innermost feelings and fears and desires. So make sure to check all three every month and every mid-month to get as whole and clear and definitive a picture as possible. Thank you to those of you who continue to watch and listen and subscribe and follow my YouTube channel. Your love and support and feedback means so very much to me, and it's a joy to watch the family grow so quickly on a daily basis. And thank you for the comments and the feedback that you keep putting both on my channel and the ones that some of you send directly to my email. Keep those up. You guys are great at giving feedback. I love reading how the readings apply so predictively in your lives. So thank you very much for that, and don't stop. And a special thank you, as I always say, to those of you who continue to keep me so busy with personal one-on-one readings. It's always an honor and always a pleasure to read for you. Thank you for the trust that you put in me to interpret and intuit the cards for you. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading, you can click on the About sign on my channel's homepage, and that will give you a little more detail and information about the services I offer and myself. And it also has my contact information on there, which is Maggie, the number one, McGuire at gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you, so send me an email and we'll go from there. I'm always asked about turnaround time, and I'm pretty good about getting back to you quite quickly when you reach out in inquiry. And it's around 1 to 4 or 5 days in terms of scheduling readings, but almost always within a week. So, again, if you're interested, just send me an email and we'll schedule something for you. So, let's get going with this. This reading is for Leo. Leo the Lion, fiery, feisty felines for the month of July 2016. Leo, July 2016. What does this wonderful warm month of, well, at least warm here in California, what does the wonderful month of July hold for the big cats, Leo the Lion, July 2016? Okay, we begin with the Seven of Swords, followed by the Six of Pentacles in reverse, the Knight of Swords, followed by Justice, the Five of Swords, followed by the Ace of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, followed by the Four of Pentacles. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and feeling of the reading is the Eight of Swords in reverse. Wow. Looks like some very intense energies, Leo. Let's just take a look. Okay, let's begin. We find ourselves at the beginning of July 2016 with the Seven of Swords, followed by the Six of Pentacles in reverse. This is a very interesting reading, Leo. So first of all, you need to take a really good look at the people that I think are closest to you. For some of you, this is going to represent something going on with someone in your spirit. I feel like it's somebody maybe close to you. For others of you, this could just be somebody that you're working with or had some kind of business contract or negotiations. The Seven of Swords, I've often heard it referred to as the thief card because that's what it can imply. Uh, this card can represent somebody actually stealing from you in terms, it could be actual money or property assets, something of that sort. It can also represent somebody feeling exploited or feeling taken advantage of, depleted, drained. In relationships, this could represent someone just taking you for granted, but taking advantage of you, leaving you feeling as if you're doing all the giving. All they're doing is taking from you, taking. You can see that the man on this card has the implication is that he's broken into somebody's home in broad daylight, I might add, and he's taken a bunch of their belongings. In this case, it's swords, but it could really mean anything. He hasn't taken everything. He wasn't able to take everything. He had to leave some things behind, but he's taken a lot. And he's stopping in the doorway and pausing and looking over his shoulder with this sneaky, smarmy look on his face as if to say, look what I'm getting away with in broad daylight. Um, Now, Swords is governed by the element of air. So, Swords is a suit that's all about that airy cerebral world of what goes on up in here. It's about words and ideas, mental outlook, perspectives, belief systems, etc. It's about how we look at things. And I feel, Leo, like somebody, I mean, this is, of course, it's going to play out differently depending on who's watching. For some of you, this is going to be something that happens just as we're transitioning into July because I'm actually recording this video on the very last day of June. This could be an ongoing situation where somebody, this event has already happened and it's something that you're dealing with as an ongoing process because I'm seeing legal stuff here too, going into and through July. But it does definitely look like somebody has taken something from you or is taking something from you, taking advantage of you some way. For some of you, this is going to be outright theft of money or property of some kind. For others, it's just going to be feeling in a position where you feel drained because somebody is just taking and taking and taking from you and really just getting away with it or thinking that they're getting away with it. That Seven of Swords is paired with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Now, in the upright position, this represents a mutuality, a giving and receiving. In love and romance or any other close relationships, it represents a relationship that's mutually beneficial, mutual attraction, mutual give and take. It's even in business or finance, it represents, working in a job where you're getting paid. An appropriate amount of money for the work that you're doing. It's even, the scales are balanced. Um, in the reverse position, well, Pentacles is governed by the element of earth. So Pentacles is a suit that's all about things in our earthly, tangible, material environment, things we can see and touch and feel. Most often that represents things like money, finances, property, assets, business, career, etc., material things. And while this can play out in terms of relationship, in terms of being taken advantage of in a relationship or feeling like you're being taken from in a more mental and emotional way, I feel because there's a fair amount of pentacles and swords in this reading that for a lot of you, this is somebody's actually taking something from you that's money or property or resources, assets of some kind. It's tangible. It's a it's a theft of something tangible. For others of you though, and they either have been doing it for a while and they've been getting away with it, and this is the month, or this is the month that justice, you're going to see justice served, or or this is a first time thing. Either way, it looks like it's going to be, this is a month for it to be addressed. And for those of you who have been going through an ongoing process with somebody that you feel has taken advantage of you or actually stolen from you, even though it's been an ongoing process, perhaps legal process as well, because I'm seeing justice here. It looks like this is a month that it may be resolved, or you may see a lot of successful forward progress in it. For a smaller amount of you, I feel like this is going to represent, it can represent more mental and emotional energy, somebody in a relationship, whether it's love and romance based or another kind of close relationship, just constantly taking from you. And at least up until now, you're not really setting boundaries, or you've been continuing to give to them. The other way that this energy of the Six of Pentacles can play out is it can represent not being intentional and focused enough in where your time, money, energy, and love is going into. You can see at first glance that this man appears to be very generous and philanthropic. He's wealthy. He's got all these pentacles, enough to just kind of throw away out the window to these waiting, grasping hands, but he's not really paying attention to where they're landing, if they're going where he intends them to go, if these people are even catching them, if they're just falling to lay on the side of the road to be walked upon. So in the reverse position, again, something is uneven, something is unequal. However it plays out for those of you watching, Leo, you'll have to give me feedback and let me know. You're being taken from in one way or another. And I think that you haven't, for some of you, you haven't been intentional or focused enough um, on, either you've suspected it, you just haven't wanted to look at it, or this is just a month where you're going to be dealing with it. Okay, so right next to that, we have the Knight of Swords paired with the Justice card. So the Knight of Swords, again, that mental cerebral energy, and Knights representing, they are the bringers of the tarot. They can sometimes be associated with a fair amount of speed too, a little more impulsive and spontaneous, because Knights are known for kind of charging off and doing something. But they do represent, they often in a reading represent something being brought to you or an offering being made. And this Knight would be bringing energy from the Suit of Swords, information of some kind, an idea or information or an offering of information. And I feel like for those of you who are, because I think some of you are actually involved in an actual legal process against someone, or I mean, in terms of this could even be a job or a company or a corporation that you're suing because you feel you've been treated unfairly or cheated somehow, and it could be an actual individual that you've been involved in some legal battle or suing or something. It looks like you're receiving information this month. You're receiving an offering of information. Ideas. I feel more like it's information and evidence kind of linked to this case. And for some of you, it may not be actually legal, as in a suit in court. It may just be something you're dealing with on your own. But it looks like whatever this information is coming in, or it's going to be, justice is going to be served, and it looks like it's going to be served in your favor, because that Knight of Swords is paired with the Justice card, Major Arcana card. This is a card of reaping what you sow. This is a card of what you put into something is exactly what you're going to get back out of it. Justice is blind, as the saying goes. Whatever the situation is, Leo, it looks like justice is going to turn out in your favor. For those of you who are actually in a lawsuit with someone or in some kind of legal haggle and you feel like you're being exploited, taken advantage of. I mean, this could even represent, child custody case too. It looks like this is the month either it's going to be resolved favorably in your favor, or there's going to be successful movement forward in it, again, in your favor. Now, right next to that, we have the Five of Swords paired with the Ace of Swords. Again, another combination of success, but it looks like it has been and is a challenge, but that you're going to be victorious in it. The Five of Swords represents a victory. Sometimes this card can represent a temporary or rather shallow victory. And again, for some of you for whom this can't possibly be all wrapped up within the month of July, it looks like there's going to be a victory of some kind that represents successful forward motion in whatever it is the situation is that you've been taken from or stolen from, taken advantage of, or you're involved in some kind of lawsuit. The Five of Swords represents, well, you can see this man has just completed a battle. His opponents, enemies, foes are obviously defeated on the ground behind him. He's gathered up all of their swords and he's holding his own aloft in victory. So it represents being victorious in this thing, either overall or you've you have to make a series of appearances perhaps in court and it's moving in your favor. But this card also represents that this battle is either it has cost you or it is costing you. This man doesn't look particularly victorious. He looks tired, defeated, worn out, exhausted, depleted. He's bleeding from a little cut on his forehead. He's wounded. This battle has obviously taken a lot out of you or is taking a lot out of you, Leo. And sometimes this card can beg the question, is it worth it? But in your case, again, it looks like it is. We do have that Justice in the upright position, and that Five of Swords is accompanied by the Ace of Swords upright. Lots of swords energy here. Aces representing one's beginning, promise, potential, new path. This is a card of success. This Ace of Swords comes in and very quickly, very powerfully, in a very successful way, and it cuts away all the extraneous BS, all the fantasy, all the illusion. It illuminates and exposes with bright clarity the truth of something. And again, I feel like part of that is actually exposing someone who has taken from you, or for some of you, it maybe you're suing, or it's a company or a job or something of that case. It's in your favor. You're winning either a large victory or a small victory in a series of them, but it is working out in your favor. There is forward movement, and then in this month, if not outright positive resolution. Now, at or towards the end of July 2016, we have the Seven of Pentacles, followed by the Four of Pentacles. You're either going to be able to get back what you've lost, or for those of you who somebody is actually in the process of trying to take from you, you're going to be able to retain what you have. It's not going to be taken from you. And for some of you, there may be a small portion of you, this represents like a child custody battle of some kind, or a divorce settlement, something to do with that, where you feel you're being cheated or there's a chance of you're being cheated. You're going to be able to hang on to what you have, or you're going to be awarded at least the majority of the money you feel is owed to you. We have the Seven of Pentacles here, which is a card of harvest. And a fairly successful harvest. It is, I mean, it's not the Ten of Pentacles, but it is the Seven of Pentacles. This woman is just about ready to harvest the fruits of her labor. She hasn't, her basket is still empty. She hasn't begun to pick. It's also a card of reflection and assessment. Is what I put into this what I'm getting out? But it is a card of harvest, and I think sometimes this can be a card of feeling like you're not getting back everything that you've invested in it. And this could play out a little bit for those of you who are suing for money or hoping to get something back or hang on to it. I do feel like you're going to be able to get back or hold on to most, if not all, of what you feel is due you. Because it's paired with the Four of Pentacles, which is a card of holding on. Again, Swords and Pentacles. It's all Swords and Pentacles this month. The Four of Pentacles is a card that represents holding on to something, holding on quite tightly. Sometimes that can represent in a negative way, but I think for you, again, Leo, it's a successful holding on or winning of a case. Again, it's going to play out a variety of different ways. For some of you, I think it's going to be like a settlement of some kind, divorce or some other kind of settlement, or somebody's trying to say you owe them something and you end up being able to hold on to what you have. But however it looks, however it plays out specifically for those Leos watching at or towards the end of July 2016, you're going to be successful in achieving this victory and receiving most, if not all, of what's owed you, or not at least having to pay out or lose any more. And it's going to reverse, and you're going to be overcoming a feeling of feeling like a victim or feeling helpless and powerless. You're going to be overcoming that this month through this either outright wrap up victory or successful forward motion in this, because your crowning card, your overall energy, is the Eight of Swords reversed. So in the upright position, as you can see, it represents being or feeling like you're being held hostage, powerless, helpless, unable to make a decision, completely at the mercy of someone or something. But you got it as your crowning card in the reverse position. So this month, it's all about overcoming that feeling, not being the victim, not being powerless, not being helpless, being able to, justice is being served for you this month. It feels kind of intense, but in a strong, victorious sort of way too. Again, for those of you for whom this couldn't possibly all wrap up successfully in the month of July 2016, it looks like there is a significant amount of successful forward movement and victory this month. So pretty intense, but positive, Leo. Keep up, keep strong. I know you're well able to that. You are the strength card personified. So hold on to that. It looks like you're going to power through this successfully. So, Leo, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I hope it has brought you some insight and clarity and some hope and strength as well. If any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading, please feel free to click on the About button on my channel's homepage, and you can email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you for a personal reading, so send me an email and we will set that up. And I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the July 2016 mid-month readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.